In open play, Barcelona were building the game in traditionally back four. Barcelona were using sole pivot and both Barcelona's fullback were providing width by staying high and wide. In open play, Mallorca were in the 5-4-1 formation and was pressing with sole man. In open play, Barca's centre back were enough in front of Mallorca's frontman so Barca's fullback could push high into the channels. Mallorca's forward was in central position so he could deal only with central players and Barca's fullback could easily operate in the wide zone. In open play, Mallorca's midfield was of 4 players, so Mallorca had number advantage of 4 versus 3 players in the midfield. Busquets was in the pivotal role and Cassie and Guy were the attacking midfielders. As we discussed, Mallorca's midfield was of 4 players, so when Barca's fullback were receiving the ball in the wide zone, Mallorca's wide midfielder was ready to close down Barca's fullback. Despite Mallorca's wide midfielder being out of position, Barca's midfield was getting the man-to-man mark from Mallorca's midfield. You can see here when Mallorca's wide midfielder was committing to Barca's fullback, then Mallorca's central midfielder was ready to press Busquets and Barca's offensive midfielder Xavi and Cassie were also being covered from the midfield. So Barca's pivot and both offensive midfielders were assaulted and Barca were unable to play progressive fast in the final third and Barca were being forced to do back pass. When Barca's fullback was receiving the ball, he had two passing options on the left-hand side and that were attacking midfielder Gavi and winger Fatih. Because Mallorca were defending in back 5, Mallorca's wingback was chasing Fatih like a shadow. So if the ball was passed to the Fatih, then he did not have the space to drive the ball. On the other hand, with Mallorca defending in back 5, the wingback and wide back were paired in the wide zone in front of the winger while the winger was receiving the ball. In short 2 versus 1 situation in the wide zone and because of that winger Fatih had to do back pass. Because of Mallorca playing in back 5, if Mallorca had 2 defender were drift wide, Barca's striker was 2 versus 1 in front of Mallorca's central defender and wide back and the winger on the far side was 1v1 in front of Mallorca's wing back which was giving unique balance to Mallorca. In open play, Barca's attacking shape was 2-3-5. Barca's both fullback were pushing high into the wide zone and playing alongside the pivot in straight line. Because of Barca's fullback playing in straight horizontal line with pivot, Busquets had 2 passing options as fullback on both sides for horizontal passing and Mallorca's wide midfielders were not very active when the fullback had the ball in the middle third. If Mallorca's wide midfielder pushed high, there would have been space in the wide zone for the winger. So Mallorca came off with proper plan. In the middle third, Barca's fullback will have the ball, then they will not press aggressively. Because Mallorca's midfielder were maintaining their position properly, Busquets did not have passing angle when the Busquets was receiving the ball and Barca were mostly back passing in open play. As we discussed, Mallorca's wide midfielder were not very active in the middle third, but when ball came into the final third, Mallorca's wide midfielder were in full action. So when Barca's fullback had the ball in the final third, Mallorca's wide midfielder was ready to defend 1v1 to Barca's fullback. So Barca's fullback was always under pressure in the wide zone from the wide midfielder and had to release the ball. On the other hand, Barcelona were 4 versus 3 down in the wide zone. Winger Ansu Fati was under pressure from Mallorca's wingback and Gavi was under pressure from central midfielder, so Barca's fullback was being forced to play cheap balls or through balls. As we discussed, Mallorca were defending in the back 5, so when the cheap balls were being played, despite having 2 defenders out of position, Mallorca had centrally 3 defenders in front of midfielder runner Cassie and striker. That's why Barcelona were not able to score so many goals. Barcelona were not able to do much in the final third, so Xavi changed the tactics. In the final third, Barca's striker was drifting wide from the center and the striker was slightly shorted in the wide zone. So while the winger was receiving the ball, Mallorca's wide back was being forced to track back the striker as the striker was shorted. Now Mallorca's left-handed defender were high on the winger and striker, so the left channel was completely open for Barca. Because Robert Lewandowski's game understanding is very good, he had anticipated that the winger would play through ball. Because now the defender on the left hand side of Mallorca were out of position and there was space for Robert Lewandowski on left hand side. Because Mallorca's central defender was holding Gavi, he could not commit to Robert Lewandowski and Robert Lewandowski scored the goal for Barcelona.